What is up, everybody out there in YouTube land? My name is Johnny Hardcore, and this is my new channel that I am just creating today called Monster Core Arcade. And arcade is always with a K. So, that's me, Johnny Hardcore of Monster Core. We have another channel called Monster Core. Monster and a core, the K. And we are always hanging hardcore. We were haunting hardcore for the whole month of October. Not even the whole month of October. We were haunting hardcore since July with our animatronics set up outside. And now that the Halloween season is over, we're not going to do Halloween anymore because it's kind of silly to do Halloween when it's not Halloween time. So we're going into another dimension of arcade games. Now, I'm learning the YouTube thing, the algorithm, and in order to get the right views and to keep the right however you want to call it, you have to keep the genre. You have to keep the same thing going on all the time. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. The algorithm for YouTube works only when you stick to one specific thing. So, this channel is dedicated to all kinds of gaming. Old school arcades from the 80s, my glory days as a kid. I'll show you each video game I have. Do a little description about them, when I got them. I'm not going to tell you what I paid for them, but I'll give you an idea. And I've been doing this hobby for the last almost 12 years since I bought my home. Yes, you can see a lot of clutter here because we don't have a big house. We only have what we have. And I haven't really been able to get down the basement as of late because we have been really, like I said, seriously haunting hardcore since I'd say July. We went to the flagship grand opening of Spirit Halloween out in Egg Harbor, New Jersey. And Jonathan Core, my son, my first son, is very much into animatronics. But when I became a dad, and I was trying to figure out and do things, with my kids when they started getting a little bit older. The first thing I did was I got into pinball, and I found the pinball machine. I don't know when it was, probably, maybe 20 something years ago, on the street. Right, it was called Matahari. It's a very classic pinball machine. Nothing great about it. It has some significance to the pinball world, and there's a couple things about it that's very interesting. With the dagger on the back glass, back then they would paint artwork on the back glasses, like you can see here, with the black hole and the comet. It was actually like a screen coating of artwork on the back. I think even Cyclone has it. I'm not too sure. I think. But then in the 90s, or the late 80s and the 90s and up, they started making trans lights, so you could put them in behind the back glass or whatever. Anyway, rambling on. So this channel is going to be, like I said, dedicated to arcade games, pinball machines. You're gonna do gaming. I know the younger generation right now is all about Roblox. Not much Minecraft anymore. Roblox took over. And then there's VR now, and you got a lot of online gaming and stuff like that, which is, the world has truly took off in the last decade, no joke. From 10 years ago, from 10 years ago till today, everything is super fast, and we all have to keep up, even when we're older. Old dogs have to not stick to their way. You have to go with the time. So, anywho, just give you a little quick tour of the basement arcade, which I have mostly moved all these games. Not all of them by myself, but I brought all these games down with help. Usually with help with my old neighbor friend George, who is the man when it came to taking these pinball machines down here, and he pretty much helped me from that time all the way until now. I apologize for the clutter, but like I said, I'm just doing a quick video. I want to show you. It's not a quick video. It's going to be a couple, maybe 10 or 20 minutes long, because I have other other places where we have more arcade games. But all the pinball machines are down here because they're kind of, I don't know how to explain it. If you're a collector and you collect pinball machines and arcade games, you kind of understand how a setup goes, and to transport them. Moving them up and down stairs is the hardest part. Moving them up the stairs is definitely takes muscle and takes two people, unless you have one of those machine hand trucks that helps you get up the stairs. But I still wouldn't do that by myself. I mean, I would do it by myself if I had one of those machine hand trucks, which I'm not going to invest in right now. Time, space is, as you can see, is scarce. And what I've done in this basement since I bought this home in 2011, this basement had so much in it. Had over here in this corner, if I can just show you, had a slop sink. There was a washer and dryer right there where that pipe is. In that corner where those games are, where Tron is, or Asteroids, Millipede, everything like that, there was I don't know how big of an oil tank, because this house used to have oil for heat, not gas. So it was an oil heated house. And when I bought the house, I was really learning about everything about buying a house and what you have to do when you own the house and all the upgrades and this and that and everything else. So I renovated, I demolated, I got rid of so much stuff. This was the second boiler system we have in the house. The first one was a nightmare. No joke intended, no pun intended. So anyway, I lost space when this one came in. We actually had a wall hung boiler, and we were able to put one more arcade game there, which I mean, when you collect and you have very little room, you want it to be as many games as possible. And that's just how it goes. When you have games and you have room, you want to use all the room you possibly have. So anyway, like I said, a lot has been done down this basement to make it to where it is right now. It came in a pool table, which hasn't really been used since the beginning of this house. The space down here for a pool table is really not enough, even if there was nothing else down here but the pool table, because the way the walls are, you can never take a legitimate shot, without bumping into a wall or this pipe right here, which is, the I-beam support. So, I mean, whatever. But I don't plan on getting rid of the pool table anymore. I was gonna give it to my girlfriend's dad, but he hasn't really made any attempt to get it, and who knows what's gonna happen next with that. So I mean, if I take the pool table out of here, obviously you could put easily 2 more pinball machines on each side and have a really cool, wraparound area. And honestly, I mean, anyone that does collect pinball and is into pinball, it's a great investment. You buy them as cheap as you possibly can, and they're incredible stock. They rise every year, and they're hot right now. So especially after COVID, they might have went down a little bit here and there, but most of them, if not all, retain their value by more than what you bought them for. So that's just my my knowledge of pinball. I do have some top machines too, like Tron is something that I would never part with. This machine is valued way over 10. Not way over, but it's this one in here is not the limited edition, and it's still worth over $10,000, probably $11,000 or $12,000, and someone would pay for that too. So I'm not going to do a rundown of each game right now because I have other things to do. I just wanted to show you what this channel is going to be about, starting down here. I'm sure if anyone's watching right now, you're probably blown away and fascinated by the titles I do have. Also got the Stranger Things over here. It's a premium, one of the better ones, and they just re-released Stranger Things 2, I think, or it's coming soon. So that is something for all those guys out there that want it. Now you can get it, and it's definitely worth it. Terminator 2 is one of my favorite games as a kid. So was Demolition Man, but right now Terminator 2 does not work the way it's supposed to, and neither does Demolition Man. My cryo claw got jammed up. I had someone come down and try to fix it, and he took it apart, and I really just haven't had time to do pinball in years. So all I've done was just maneuver things and make it as walkable as possible from what you could see. Scared Stiff is also a very top machine, has very awesome value. So is Elvira and the Party Monsters, one of my favorite games too as a kid, for more reasons than one. And that's the R-rated version of the Translite, which I thought was just fun and cool to get. Boobies. Yeah, just the other day I actually made room over here. You can see I have mirrors. My thing is with mirrors, I don't have it put up put up perfectly or anything like that. It's just a cool mirror, but it gives that effect, the infinity effect. And you shut the lights off, which I'll shut them off right now. I'll show you the way I have things going without lights. And all the games come on. I could put this right on really quick just to show you how this is over here. But it does give a great effect. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I'm just trying to shut lights off. Yeah, have the Guns N' Roses also by Jersey Jack, the LE. It has that playfield problem, but it's not that big of a deal. I have the kit to fix it as well. I did get a fishtails as well, as you can see right there. That was for my son Jonathan because he really loves the singing fish. So that was one of the things that caught his attention, was the fish topper where the fishtail wags when at certain points of the game. And I'll go more into each game, one day when I have the time and I feel like making more videos with it. Put the light on really quick. That's Corvette. There's no glass on it because it's staying right there. Let me show you what the room looks like with the lights off and how that mirror effect looks. So you can see it makes the room look deeper, with mirrors. So that's just something I've done. And also over there has a mirror. And then now that the winter is coming and we're gonna not be outside as much, especially not doing Halloween haunting with our animatronic setup, I have to actually move one game upstairs because I have, one too many down here. This was just supposed to be a walkway area where Gorf is, and back there in the ditches of doom is a Paperboy project, which I have not even gotten to, but I do have artwork for it, and I have some ideas what I'm going to do. And to get to this point too, where the way these games are, I had to maneuver so many times, and by myself. I don't have the pinball dolly, put underneath, so I go underneath the machine and I spin it and I turn it and twist it, and it's like playing Tetris. That's how I had to move these games around down here. I'm gonna shut these games off too because it's gonna just keep going. I do have a bunch of baseball games because I used to play baseball, and I don't play baseball anymore, but I could play them on my favorite games, especially this one, Champion Baseball. And it's not Champion Baseball 2, it's just the marquee. There's a Champion Baseball back there. You can see that. But I got this marquee somewhere, and I just feel like it looks cool right there. So for now, that's where it stays. So that's about that. There's a cool Budweiser, light that I got from Delaware at this humongous warehouse full of arcade games and pinball machines. And this guy didn't know what to do with them. He was just sitting there like a king of nothing. And I'm trying to buy a couple games. I was actually lucky to get one of these games right here, Miss Pac-Man. I know it's only Miss Pac-Man, but this Miss Pac-Man has that the Doyle. I'll show it to you. I'll just turn it on so I can show it to you a little bit, because I will do the rundown, like I said, of these games. But this Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, has the board where it's a 12-in-1, and you can see the list. Let me shut this light off. So all those games are games that obviously were in dedicated cabinets. Pretty sure all of them were, but one in particular I wanted to get was Piranha. For some reason, I went to a what do they call that? A day camp back in Brooklyn, New York, Regina Day Camp, and they had one video game, maybe two video games, but I know they had Piranha, and it was one of the games that I was just hunting down. And then I didn't know when I went to this warehouse that this Miss Pac-Man actually had that kit in it. So I didn't really pay much for this game. Paid maybe, I don't know, $200, maybe $300. This guy was a really tightwad. He wouldn't part with anything. I'm telling you, he had like three different Terminator games. He had a whirlwind, not a whirlwind, hurricane. I remember I wanted to get from him. He was like you know, I was offering good prices too, and he's nope, nope, nope. My game's worth more than that. It's worth more than that. I'm like, all right, buddy, whatever. So, all right, I'm gonna go show you part 2, area 2 of what we have here in Westerly, Staten Island, and also I put these lights around the entire basement as best I could, as you can see. And I call them the Tron lights, and it also looks really awesome at night when you come down here with the kids. Have a ice cold brew or a cup of ale. One thing I didn't do yet, I didn't put the orange Gorilla Tape on the edge of the steps, which also gives it a really cool Tron effect. So, all right, so let me just go up to the next area and show you what else we got. And also, we do have a bunch of the 1-Up arcades, which is really awesome too, because they're brand new. There's really no problems with them. They play awesome. They look awesome. They even have the risers, so if you're tall and big like me, you can still play them and enjoy them. But the main thing is for the kids. So anyway, just want to show you that. I do have a Dragon's Lair, the Dragon's Lair Space Ace and Dragon's Lair 2 1-Up. I'll show you this too because this is pretty cool. It's my son, John Coy's room. He loves these singing fish. He really has a very, very cool quality about him, where he really into this stuff. And this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to make his fish wall, and he did. And I helped him, of course. You know, obviously helped him hunt them down on YouTube, on Instagram, eBay, and Craigslist, and all that stuff, and yard sales and garage sales and flea markets. And we have quite a collection together. Yeah, so I told you we have the Dragon's Lair 2, and the Space Ace 1-Up. That's it right there. It's been in the basement for since last year. I remember grabbing it when it just came out, and I just haven't had the room. And now it's Tabitha, my daughter's birthday, my only daughter's birthday coming up soon. And I asked her about it before I was gonna put this in storage. I was like, "Would you want to put this in your room? You know, you put an arcade in your room," because she's always said she wanted one, and she did have them in the beginning before you know, I started renovating her room. So it might go in there, and then I'll, you know, when that time comes, I'll put a little video up on it. The Dragon's Lair 2, and Space Ace, even though I have 2 of them downstairs, and the Merlin Dexter board. So, but that's in a matter of time. All right, hold on. All right, so I'm not allowed to have any music on right now because I'll get copyrighted as I'm learning about the YouTube thing. I did have a channel in the beginning of time that I took over for my kids, which was something I shouldn't have did because they had so many beautiful videos on there. But I didn't know about YouTube. Like I said, I'm learning as I go. But anyway, anyone that does YouTube, you can't have any music playing in the background because you will get copyrighted, then you'll lose your channel. All right, so this is the garage. I took my door off because I had to take some stuff out of here, and this doorway is not big enough for getting stuff out. But in the garage, there's mostly racing sit-down cockpit games. Only in this part right here, there's the stand-up wall of certain games that you could see, but the driving games, most of them. In the next couple of weeks, by the end of the year, next year, whatever it's gonna be, Baby Pac-Man is going to either go in the basement, or I'm gonna just fix the one in the basement and then sell this one because I don't need 2 Baby Pac-Mans. A couple of these games are not gonna be here because I want this garage to be really for driving, so my kids can learn how to drive. And in my opinion, playing video games, you know, sit down racing games especially, taught me how to drive, and then doing go-karts as a kid. So that's why this garage is set up the way it is. And I do have a bunch of driving games, you could see. Race driving right there. One of my favorite games when I was a kid. There was hard driving first, and then race driving. Race driving has both tracks from hard driving and the new one from race driving, and then a couple other ones. So this one is the one to get. You can see us. Hang on. Almost all these games work in here. I grabbed the Deal or No Deal for my mom, but Deal or No Deal is really, really big, so not really sure how I'm going to keep this game in here. And I don't know. We'll see. Really not sure about a few things. Still trying to get rid of stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of clutter in here. It's not clutter, it's stuff, you know. These animatronics right here, like from Halloween, Shorty. This box of Hellspawn and Man's Best Friend. This is what we just did. So that's what I was still undoing right now, or unpointing hardcore, as I've said in my other video in Monster Core. You can see some animatronics we still got here. Took lights off, still undecorating. I'll show you the back. You can see my wall of signs, because this area also is for racing quads for my kids. Right now it's just really Jax and Noelle. Noelle's my niece. Jax is my last little boy. No more kids after Jax. But this is what's been going on. This is why I'm doing a new channel, because I'm not going to be doing Halloween anymore. And after everything's put away, this is the last of it. These big guys right there, towering scarecrow, infernal pumpkin scarecrow, and towering pumpkin creep. These guys. I'll show you a little bit more. That's the back of the arcade. Today I wanted to do some arcade stuff just to get back to it. This is an Arkanoid, and I have to put wheels on it because you can't maneuver games by, without wheels. So that's one of the things I wanted to do today, and then I'll be happy with that. This guy, the Turbo Outrun, the cockpit, motion cockpit, is humongous, man. It's, if I had the room, I would be really, it would be amazing, and I'm very much considering opening up an arcade, because number one, I have the games, the pinball machines, I have enough to do that, but I gotta get the right person to do it with, because I'm not gonna do it alone. I need someone to definitely, fix the games when they're broken, because that's the most important thing with these games, is they break, so you have to constantly fix them and upkeep them. So I need the right partner for that. And under these tarps right here that are destroyed are, unfortunately, I have to burn a deluxe, the cockpit as well, that moves. And then this one is another Turbo Outrun, but it's the cooler one. It has like the car seat. It looks like an actual car. And then in this tarp right here is a shuffleboard game that I was given by someone for free. So, I really don't care about it, but it's got to go before this winter starts. This has to be given to someone so it stays out of the rain, because it's not going to last another winter, even though it's covered up pretty good, but it's got to go. And it works. And all this clutter here is going too. Like I said, the Halloween haunt really took over the last couple of months, especially October. So we went all in, and now it's time to go further. These washer and dryer. Anybody want a washer and dryer? They work. This is a brand new one, and that's one when I bought the house. That's a very big one. So, but anyway, those gotta go. You can see in here I have a few more arcades. This one is dead. Haven't really even attempted to fix it. I had an old tech come in here a while ago and take a look at it and see what was up. I don't think he really paid attention. I don't think he cared at that point. I think he was just done. This actually works. And it's funny that this was actually sawed in half. Whoever owned it, right, to get it downstairs, something like that. So they ruined this whole beautiful top, which looks like a race car. It's Sega Monaco, Super Monaco GP. Right, it works. It's a cool game. It has a little shifter in there. All right, sit down in there. Right now it's storage, but if I plugged it in, it would work. And then I have pole position. It's pole position cockpit. And I did buy this broke. And I know there's boards and stuff like that, and there's certain things you could do to it to make it run again. And I remember when we looked at it with the tech, I forget what was wrong, but it can be fixed, and it's still there. The glass, this thing is very important. I kind of protected it with stuff, with this kind of paper. Bubble wrap and stuff like that. So the glass is still seems to be okay. Hopefully, that's like a very important detail about this, and it's in good shape. It's not bad. I remember playing this too. I remember playing this game when the spaceship Columbia blew up, when I was playing this in a car service. So this game has some significance in my life, and it's also a great game. The sound effects of it, and the driving of it. It's not so easy to drive either. It's very it's like it's not realistic to drive, but once you get the touch, it's a fun game. And then this one right here, Super Sprint. I messed this up myself. I was lifting it, and I was trying to put it into my truck to transport it. I don't know what, I forget what I was doing. I think I just put the wheels on. And when I dropped it, I freaking dropped it on the wheels. You know, when I put the wheels in the bottom, and I freaking nailed all 3 steering wheels on the back of my truck and cracked every single one of them off. And you know, I swear to God, I felt like such an idiot because I had my neighbor across the street that could help me 1, 2, 3. But I hate asking for favors all the time, you know, and help all the time. But I messed it up, you know. And I actually I found somewhere, I have the double from Championship Sprint. So I have 2 wheels that I can, you know, change out if I really, you know, when I get to it, which I will get to it, not yet, but I'll get to it sometime. But this is a great game too, Super Sprint. And I remember this game looking huge when I was a kid. You know, now I'm taller than it too, and I can't believe it's this small in my opinion now. But anyway, that's that. There's some leftover trick or treating candy that I didn't hand out to the kids. So there you have it. Oh, I gotta show one more thing. Sorry, forgot. Got some more games. Got a double axle. That's the Bigfoot game. We're into monster trucks too. So the Bigfoot game right here. It worked, but it was glitchy. And then something happened, and I forget what I did. And then there's some kind of, I forget what was in the back of it, but something's in the back where I can't remember the name of the thing. It's not. I don't know if it's a transformer or something like that. But something kept getting too hot. And then my tech came in and he tried messing around with it and he did something very weird and whatever. So it just doesn't work right now. My kids keep asking me to fix it, so that's on the list, 100%. This is a scared stiff cabinet. I mean, a scared stiff coffin, right? Actually, it was very in good shape. It got a little water damage on it, but still very good shape. So, and back there is a Cubert. There's a Cubert in there. So 3 more games. Well, 2.5 games, right? This is a project. But all right, just wanted to show you what we got going on here. The world of Westerly, Staten Island. Getting organized. This was one of my favorite arcades in the Poconos. Fernwood Game Zone. Not Game Zone, it was the Fernwood. Now it's, I don't know what it is. It's dead. Completely unusable. It's like abandoned. But yeah, so that's that. And then an arcade sign right there. See what other arcade we have here. Well, this is our other channel, just so you know. All right, I don't know if anybody's still watching, but if you are, so like I said, I'm learning about YouTube more and more, and I'm noticing other channels, you know, where they are now from where they were, and like I said, you know, you gotta focus on one genre, you know, on your channel. So like I said, this channel is going to be based on video games and arcade machines. I don't know, I guess coin op. I don't know about coin op, I don't know if that's the right word, but definitely pinball, video games, you know, gaming. I think that's pretty much one genre, right? But you know, if you are into any other stuff, you want to support my other channel, that's the name of the other channel, just plain old Monster Core, and it's a monster with an A and core with a K. I do have other stickers out too. But there you have it, man. That's me. Giant hole close. See my mirror? Still got the mirrors going on. So I will do more as we go. I'll be posting more videos about arcades, which I have other old videos that I can post too, but I just wanted to do an introduction video. My first video. That indie heat right there. I messed up myself, man. I was moving it and I had the back open. And or something was going on. I forget what I was doing, but I cracked the freaking monitor neck, and all the gas came out, and I was like, oh my god, how did I do that? I'll just tell you a quick little story here. What I have left: Hydro Thunder, this bowling game, Lighthouse, Off-Road Challenge, Rush 2040. 49, and that's Sonic game that you see in the garage. I mean the shed. I think that's it. I grabbed all those games at one shot from a place in Brooklyn, a Jewish day camp or something like that. And the guy was like, you know, I saw a posting on Craigslist, and you know, I came down and went down there, and you know, he's you know, he's pretty much just saying take them, right? And then I said, you know, I don't have any I can't afford all these games. Excuse me. But he goes, if you don't take them, they're gonna go in the garbage. And I'm like, well, I can't even load them all because I don't have room. You know, I can make room on my garage and stuff. I'll just stuff them in because, you know, me, I don't pass anything up, especially free games. And he was nice enough to actually load a couple up in his truck. You know, we squeezed, I don't know how he did this, but we squeezed them in there. It was even raining too. I forgot how we did this. We had to take them down a ramp, right? They were up like a second floor. And we had to take them down a metal ramp. That was, you know, like a challenge, like off-road challenge. It was a challenge. And some of these games, you know, weren't easy to take down. You know, most of them were on wheels. I think some of them on wheels, most of them on wheels. But I remember I had to use a hand truck with some of them. And we were like skidding down the ramp. You know, I remember holding the handrail of this metal ramp, you know, like a metal graded, you know, floor. And like I said, it was just starting to rain, so it was slippery, really slippery. And I did it. You know, I got him down. This bowling game worked too. It works really cool. You know, Simpsons bowling game. It's cool. It has the roller ball. It does work. And the Hydro Thunder too. This game actually it had like I forget, on the back of the steering wheel inside the game, there was like some kind of a glitch or a screw or stripped or something. I forget what I did, but you know, it had like it wasn't turning exactly where you wanted it to turn. So, you know, my son Jax loved this game so much, just like the game he flocked to. I have to fix this like right away because he's been dying to play it, replay it and stuff like that. But anyway, I was able to get in there and fix it. You know, it wasn't really that hard of a thing to do. I forget I don't know if it was a wire or something silly, but something in there, and I got it to go. You know, I got the steering calibrated and it worked. So that was really cool to do that. And then right now it plays blind. I'll show you my power. The power. A bunch of these games are actually still working, like I said. And this Baby Pac-Man works. The one in the basement doesn't work. But yeah, the Hydro Thunder powers up like this, but the screen is dead. So I'm gonna say that the monitor crapped out, and I do have the what do they call it? The transformer power supply. So yeah. And this Donkey Kong actually is a LED monitor. It's not the original, but the cabinet's nice. Grabbed it for really nothing, and I just have to look into it. I think it's a 60-in-1 also, but I haven't really gotten to it. And you got Super Off-Road, one of my favorite games too as a kid. See this one, and Indie Heat. They're like, I guess, brother and brother. And Indie Heat came out after Super Off-Road. I'm pretty sure it was Super Off-Road, and then I think it was Indie Heat, and then I have the track pack too. There's I have it back there somewhere. Right there. The off-road track pack. You can see it like that. Yeah, so this was definitely one of my favorite games as a kid too. It's the whaleless game. A lot of quarters in those games, man. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I collect. Bring back my memories as a kid, you know, for sure. But relive them with my kids is the main reason. You know, I don't just come in here and play games by myself. It's not fun playing games by yourself. It's very lonely. You know, you have to do it with your kids. And this Super Punch Out is an awesome game too. I actually was able to buy two of these. One I bought a long time ago. It just came out of nowhere, and I didn't really pay that much money for it either. I mean, for what it's worth. You know, this is going back I don't know how many years, but the game is like restored, like mint, beautiful, perfect, right? And then I don't know, one day I was selling, I forget what I was selling, but I was selling something, and then the guy noticed that I had Super Punch Out. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse at the time, and I was like, all right, you know, it's only a game, you know. But my only daughter, Tabitha, loved this game so much. I have a clip that I'm gonna post on my YouTube channel, of her playing when she was a little kid, man, and standing right here too in the same spot, because I used to have the Punch Out and Super Punch Out both in the same, you know, both next to each other, and she loved this game. You know why she loved it, I don't know, but she loved this game, and I'll show you. You know, I'll upload that video soon, and you'll see her. And she was so excited when she knocked out one of the guys. I don't know who she knocked out, but she knocked out one of them, and then she was like, "I did it!" And I was like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest thing I could ever see with these games." I'm still talking here because I had some coffee. All right, let me press pause. All right, so I just got checked up on hide and go seek for my job because Right now I can't work because I had stitches in my chest. I had to get something removed that wasn't good on my body. So on my job, Department of Sanitation of New York, they like to check up on you. So I have to deal with that stuff. Another reason why I'm home and doing this video. All right, so let me just finish up this vid and just tell you a little more about certain games without the music on. Like I said, each game has its own memory, and this one right here, Baby Pac-Man, I used to play this game back in the 80s when I was a kid. I don't know how old I was, in the early teens, you know, probably a tween, whatever you call it. And this is a luncheonette. They used to call it a luncheonette. And they didn't really have that many games in there, maybe one or two. I don't know how many they had. But it was a Polish couple, right? It was an older Polish couple. I'm Polish too, Irish and Polish. And they had this game in there. You know, I remember I was a little bit nuts, you know, as a kid. A little wild. Not nuts, just wild. You know, I had a lot of energy. I played all kinds of sports. And then, I don't know, when I played the games, I would probably get a little bit wild, you know, probably bang, you know, or hit it, you know, if I messed up like that. And I remember them getting mad at me and, you know, yelling in Polish, something like that. And, you know, something you should never do, hit these games. And when my kids do it, I tell them, you know, don't do that because you'll break the game. And you have to have self-control. So anyway, my mother's side was Polish. My mother's mother and father, my grandpa and grandma were Polish. And when they would babysit us, you know, they would watch us in the schoolyard. And then, I don't know, we went into the luncheonette. And then when my grandparents went into the luncheonette, especially my grandpa Puz, he went in and started talking to the guy. And then I was in with them. You know, after that, I was like, you know, he started talking and, you know, they just connected. It was great. I remember that. That was a great memory. So that's why Baby Pac-Man to me means how much it does. I actually had 3 of these over my span of collecting. I had 3 of them at the same time, and 2 of them were dead, and then one I think worked. I can't remember. I forget how it was going down. It was working, and then I think I tried to mess around with it to fix the other one, and then when I did that, something happened, and it never worked again. And I remember grabbing this one from Philadelphia, and the guy was like, you know, very adamant about how much he wanted for it, you know, and I drove to Philly to get it because I was, you know, at the time I was hardcore collecting. And the playfield was good, which is very important about Baby Pac-Man, even though they did make a new playfield that I actually have, just never installed. I'm not into restoring pinball games in our arcade machines as much as I could be and should be, because I just don't have the time. But I do have a lot of the stuff for these games to fix and stuff like that. So, but anyway, that's where we're at. I'll tell you about Spy Hunter 2. This is actually probably one of the worst games ever made. Honestly, it's terrible gameplay compared to the Spy Hunter sit-down cockpit that I actually do have. But I got ruined in the rain, so it's very problematic, and I have to. You can see we're into RCs too, RC monster trucks. I'll talk to you about the Spy Hunter 2 another time, but Spy Hunter, the sit-down cockpit version, is 100% one of my favorite games of all time. This game, man, like, you could just sit in it, you know, you have a nice ice-cold brew or a cup of ale, a nice cup of vino, and you know, that's the only way they drink and drive, is playing video games, you know, arcade sit-down cockpits. But anyway, this game has the sound from oh, what's that guy's name? The Spy Hunter theme. I can't think of it right now. When I get into telling you about games, I'll tell you more about it. But it has that sound, which is just when the organ starts playing and you're further in the game, you know, you're rocking it for a little while after you pass the first the checkpoint, not the checkpoint, when you get to that first point where you get 20,000 and the time runs out and you just keep playing. The sound is just so like mesmerizing, and it's so soothing, and it's so relaxing and enjoyable and just nostalgic that it just makes the game. You know, and I'm sure so many out there that are my age, you know, I'm 51, you know, that know the 80s and remember the 80s very well. You know, we remember Spy Hunter being one of the best games, you know, ever made, you know, as far as a racing game and a sit-down game. So that's just something that I would like to share. I wanted to share with you all out there. All right. That's my first video. I know I'm rambling on, but if you're still watching, thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and share it and spread it around with all your friends that are into video games and arcades and pinball, stuff like that. and I will definitely be posting more videos and make this fun. You know, share my knowledge with you, show you all the games that I have, go through them all. You know, I'm gonna definitely start fixing them. I have, massive parts to work with and stuff like that. So the time will come when I do get some time to fix, but I have to just pinpoint out. You know, first I'm going to probably set this whole place up again once I have a little bit more organization and once all the animatronics are put away. But I did have a really good setup in here where you could walk around, you know, and each game, play each game. And I have, you can see how many cockpits I have here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I actually have what is it called over there? Oh, a cockpit road blasters in there as well. So I made it work. You know, I really did. It was really, really a great setup in here. So that's gonna happen. You know, I'll get back to it soon. Like I said, just get rid of some more stuff, and sell a couple things too. You know, it's always good to sell. Get rid of stuff. Let someone else take it on, and just keep going. All right, everybody. Like I said, I'm Johnny Hardcore. This is Monster Core Arcade. That's the new channel, the new arcade channel, and I will see you out there. And this catchphrase is going to be called what? It's going to be called Game Hardcore, because I always say Haunt Hardcore. First we were saying Hang Hardcore, like hey, hang loose, right? That's my thing, hang loose. And then we were Haunting Hardcore, so I had Bone Hand. It was Haunt Hardcore. And then when we're taking down the animatronics, it's Unhaunting Hardcore. So now this channel, we're going to have to call it, I guess, Game Hardcore, right? Or Play Hardcore. I don't know. Well, it'll be either Play Hardcore or Game Hardcore. I'll just share one more little thing with you. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing, is the moon. I'll just show you as best I can. It's a crescent moon. Get away from that light over there. Zoomage. That's definitely how I'm going to end the video. For me, the crescent moon is a very, very beautiful moon. It means, like, it's almost like saying to me, everything's going to be all right. You know, and in my opinion, it's God smiling. I'm very much into looking at the stars and the night skies and the sky watcher. Very peaceful. But there you go. Sorry for shaking around too much. All right, I'll just leave it on that moon. Everybody, take care, be safe out there, keep in touch. Like and subscribe. Always like and subscribe. It's very important to like and watch the entire video. And keep that notification bell on. Like my son says, Jack, he goes, hit that cation bell. Later.